never really know what kind of tournament is going to be a Stingray tournament. It's kind of similar to Mango, but with like less peaks, right?
Oh, okay.
Because Stingray has only ever gotten 1 gold medal, but like making it into top 8 isn't like a crazy thing for Stingray. But then on the other side here, it looks like we're actually going to have the Hattori Ditto, but it's going to be Blaze
nice.
rocking the Prince Zuko epic crossover skin for Hattori. So this one's going to actually be pretty weird. I don't know how often Stingray has had to run into the Ditto here. Hattori has been a pretty like kind of off-meta-ish legend pick, so the fact that he's actually running into the mirror match is probably a bit like, what?
Yeah, and then Stingray immediately switching to the spear here, so I feel like maybe a little more comfortable with that spear, as you pointed out at the beginning of the match. Now, we got another Ditto shaping out.
This is wild. You can see Stingray's like tried to fish for 2 different KO options already. Went for one end to get whiff, went for another side to get whiff, but Blaze was able to get like a huge punish. We see a double recovery there, taking Stingray off the top. But despite that, I mean, it's still a really close game. Looking at Blaze's damage already in the deep red, you get hit by a D-Light recovery here on Sword, you're going to lose your stock. And you see Stingray goes for it there, but just the backdash is just in time.
And a good amount of damage. Let's see how much Blaze gets, but nice recovery reversal by Stingray. Gonna end up making the stocks even.
Hey, Spear Ditto to start it out. There we go. And Stingray goes for the dash jump reverse snare. It's one of the safest options you can go for after getting a side light, where like it covers a good amount of dodge options. It's not overly committal. So you can see he's trying to get a read of what Blaze's dodge patterns are.
Yeah.
But despite that, I mean, we kind of chunked a little bit, but we out here.
Yeah, we're out here. I mean, Stingray winning neutral a lot with those S-lights, just hasn't gotten the exact read on Blaze's timings. But I'm sure as the set progresses, we're going to see more and more dodge reads come out. Oh, nice. I think that's one thing that Spear does better than many other weapons. Like, if you do happen to whiff or make a bad read on Spear, you get so much damage as Stingray closes it out with a double D-Light into recovery.
Yeah, it's interesting because whenever I talk to people about Brawlhalla, and you know, especially if they're newer to the game and they're trying to learn it, I always recommend Spear because I always describe it as the sauceless weapon. And like, there are some cool things you can do with it, but it almost always revolves around a weapon throw or getting like a weird hitbox of neutral air. But it's because the punish is so straightforward. It's always going to be D-Light into like side air or recovery, right? And so it's like, once you get that dodge, as we saw, double D-Light recovery, guaranteed stuff. But Blaze finds that side sig with that spear. He's going to stick with the spear here, or no, we're going to swap over to the sword. Okay, but first the sword in the neutral.
Aggressive sig, I think, out of that string. Stingray has been getting those sidelights a lot with the spear, but then Blaze just comes out, throws out a sig. Oh.
Why didn't you side air there? That was a side air moment. You saw how close to the left last zone he was, where it's like, you side air him there, he's not going to come back.
Yeah, that's GG. That's GG. Yeah, I feel like both of these weapons are like the fundies weapons, right?
Yes.
Sword and spear, just super powerful in that like they have very simple game plans, sort of like these bread and butter knockout confirms that you're looking for with the D-Lights, and they're both quite good at reversals, which is very important, especially when people are as good as getting out of strings as they are at this like top 32 level. Like, Stingray has not been getting the dodge reads after S-Lights on Spear, and we'll see how that changes.
We're seeing, I mean, Blaze trying really hard here to kind of keep up with Stingray. Stingray did manage to secure that first game. It's a D-Light side air there as well. And his movement is looking pretty good as well. Blaze is having a hard time catching him. Tries to fall with the falling nair. And you do that falling nair oftentimes because in Brawlhalla it's so hard to know if someone's going to try to like trip you up by being on either your left or your right side. So you say, you know what, screw it. I'm just going to cover both with my nair. But Stingray still spacing that out as well. Blaze trailing behind by a little bit. This N-Light's going to make the damage differential a little bit closer, but Stingray still has the advantage. Gets that back step into the D-Light, forces Blaze into the corner, and you see like he got disarmed by the first D-Light side air, and like, you have someone running at you with a sword, you have no weapon. It's like so hard to avoid.
Just the wall of Stingray finally getting the. I've been waiting for that all set. Stingray just finally getting the read after the sidelight on the spear, and they're carrying that momentum so well. About to make it even in terms of damage, and they're up a stock.
And Stingray's not afraid to do something a little bit cheeky too, right? I mean, we saw weapon throw, he goes for the ground pound there as well. That's not guaranteed unless the dodge is gone. But Stingray is like playing out of his mind. Honestly, I like the Stingray sword. Granted, we do see him losing the stock there. But something that I noticed even earlier on, as far as Brawlhalla goes, unarmed D-Light is one of the moves in the game, if not the move in the game with the most amount of hit stun after it. And so you go to go for a slide kick, and then we've seen on 2 different occasions now, Stingray will pick up a weapon and then combo off with the unarmed slide kick into like a side air on the sword he just picked up as a true combo. And so I'm like, if you're that locked in already, like I don't know what Blaze is going to be able to do about it. But so far he's been keeping it relatively even.
See Blaze getting a small combo confirmed with the D-Light himself. But now able to get back on the sword. They both sort of stand next to each other, trying to maybe get a GC light, but Stingray's comes out first and going to be getting that confirm off the top. Yeah, I mean, Stingray's playing super solid right now.
And it's really scary too because Hattori, I mean, granted it's the Ditto, right? So the same things are going to matter for both sides. But Hattori is one of the faster legs in the game by a fair amount. And so I always say that speed is the most important stat in Brawlhalla, just because it affects aerial drift, right? And so that means if you do any sort of attack in the air, how much you can drag that hitbox to the left or the right is affected by your speed stat. And so trying to avoid a Hattori that puts out a lingering sword side air and is going toward you, if your speed stat isn't the same or higher than Hattori's, it's really hard to just kind of try to move out the way. And so like Stingray's been doing a great job capitalizing on that. Blaze though, holding on here.
Yeah, tying it up and a really good edge guard on the left side. I mean, that's the classic D-Light side air, kind of trapping them on the ledge, reading their timing of getting back on the stage. And now we have a sword Ditto. I feel like I might favor Blaze here just because Stingray has been like mostly cooking on the sphere, but we'll see. Stingray still very powerful on the sword.
And it's tough, right? Because when you're going up against sword, the only like really unreactable option that it has is like, oh, that might be the game. Just like that, Blaze makes an aggressive play, going for the gravity cancel D-Light into the side air, spending all the resources really that he had left at that point to go ahead and secure that knockout, and it works. Stingray was not ready for that. It was kind of similar to the stock we saw Stingray get on Blaze, actually, the stock before, where he kind of hit him with that D-Light side air, chased him all the way off stage, and got that second side air, and Blaze was like, whoa, what?
The high-risk, high-reward plays, and then Blaze is like, wait, I can do that too?
Yeah, he's like,
I can
hold
do
on.
that too? All right.
Yeah, let me take a sip of that. Yeah, actually, I think I like this flavor.
I didn't know we're drinking that sort of juice. Let's go.
Okay, but now we got Stingray back on the spear, 1-1 in the set. This could very easily be a Game 5 kind of bout. These are the kinds of players that I look at and I'm like, ooh, I think Stingray has higher peaks, and I think that's noted by, I think, as far as like players that Stingray has been able to beat historically, have just had higher PRs. Stingray's been able to defeat kind of before. I don't think Blaze can even say that, you know? But then in the same vein, Blaze has been consistently able to get top 8s within region, and so it's like they're around the same skill level-ish with a slight favor to Stingray.
An age-old question, which is more important, consistency versus peaks?
Yeah.
And depending on who you ask, you're going to get a different answer. Let's see who wins in this showdown. Right now, it's very even.
Already seeing there coming after Stingray, trying to get these juggles here. Blaze getting forced into the corner, and Stingray actually does that D-Light a little bit too high. Normally you jump, you gravity cancel it a little bit lower. Oh, wait, hold on here. Tries to get the D-Light again. You could tear there, forces out the dodge. Stingray doesn't bite. No options here. Oh, but it gets tagged by the down air from the unarmed there. Stingray played that perfectly. I think a Hattori down sig would have been a great option there, because then you get to jump back, avoid it, and then cut, but you'd have to be thinking that much farther ahead.
And Stingray playing super safe, knowing he's unarmed, knowing one hit could be it.
He dropped D-Light recovery of all things?
Okay, just the end light, that's going to seal the deal. Blaze with any hit should lead to a kill or knockout confirmed.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, a D-Light gravity cancel unarmed recovery will do it. Now that he got that extra hit, I think D-Light recovery will be enough because Hattori's defense isn't that high. D-Light's there in the corner, and that's what I was talking about before. There was a time where he went for recovery in that situation where it's like, go for the Sair. He's right there in the corner.
Oh, yeah. And it's just like calling out the drift, pretty much. Okay, Stingray's been doing the dodge there, and it's getting huge rewards.
Jesus.
Finally, again, the same call out.
Man, that was a wild sequence we just saw from Stingray there, taking Blaze from white to the orange and still going.
Yeah, I mean, his S-Light reads have been so solid. Like, 100% this time, he's calling out Blaze's dodge patterns.
Yeah, and it's like Blaze, you know, it's funny. Oh, get caught. Oh, beautiful stock from Stingray.
Yeah.
It's like when you're playing Brawlhalla and you first learn how to play against Spear, you learn that like, oh, if I get hit by side light, the spear player is going to wait and try to see what my dodge is. So then when you start getting to the higher level, people stop dodging after the side light. So to cover that, we'll see Stingray do a dash jump reverse snare, because if you don't jump, you still get hit. And even if you do dodge, to still cover some dodges. And there it is again, right? Where it's like dodge or don't dodge, I'm still covering a lot with this. And he tries to go for the hard read now because he's been able to get him so many times. I think he's probably going to dodge in place or dodge out this time. But this is Stingray's game to lose at this point. If he messes this up somehow.
My God.
Like,
yeah. Such a good play there, Flambeau. The side light and then calling out the dodge. And because he was locked out of the dodge, got the whole confirmed side light, D light into the recovery. Oh, so good.
And it's so smart too, because specifically the fact that he reverses the nair as well. And so like we saw on that last sequence, Blaze dodged in, and because Stingray reverses the nair, the hitbox is still able to cover the dodge in, whereas if he had done it the other way, you'll spin the spear the other way, you're not going to get that dodge. And so like you have to turn it around, and it's just so smart from Stingray.
Yeah, I mean, all Stingray that game, mostly on the backs of the spear, but so maybe a good draw here for Blaze, knowing that Stingray's on the sword now instead. But I mean, Stingray neutral has just been so quick. Okay, yeah, we see S-Light at the dash dance there, super good.
M-Light, all right, side 6 is going to connect from Blaze. Blaze was trying to hang on. I mean, honestly, that game number 3 didn't look too bad until Stingray got that beautiful stock before. Speaking of beautiful stock, just Blaze first stock from taken away. Stingray.
It was fine until it became the spear show, and then it wasn't, you know?
The punish game is like the difference, right? Where it feels like they're going blow for blow, but Blaze has not had any play even remotely comparable to like the highest damaging string we've seen from Stingray, right? It's usually 1-2, maybe D-Light Nair or something. Oh, and a huge drop there. That ground pound is guaranteed, but he just doesn't line up the ground pound correctly. And now Stingray has a chance to get more damage with this first stock. Nice catch from Blaze, though. Doesn't get to add any more bleeding. Says, you know what, you got one hit on me, but things are pretty much even.
Yeah, super smart, waiting out the dodge there, and still unarmed is Stingray, but able to get this sword ditto started. Oh my God.
The movement is crazy.
They are stacked. They are scrapping.
There we go, Stingray. Oh, tries to go for that side light. I think an end light would have been the option there. It's so fast. Okay, nice retaliation from Stingray there.
End light.
They're like, no, do it back. I'll do it back. I'll do it back. I'll do it back. You know, and it's like,
my
swordsman.
My turn. It's like, you seen Ed, Ed, and Eddie?
Yeah.
That's my horse. That's my horse.
My horse.
That's my horse.
My horse. You know, it's like just going back and forth here. Blaze manages to get a bit of a lead. Oh, and tries to actually, that was a good coverage idea. He jumps high with the falling nair and then fast falls down. He's covering the entire pillar with an active hitbox, but he gets mixed up on the timing of when Stingray wants to come in.
Oh, trying to maybe read a dodge out is Stingray. Getting the pogo though.
Oh, that reach? No way! That was maximum range. Probably like the last active frame or two of that side. So you could tell by the way Blaze stood there that he thought he was in perfect punish position and then got hit by the tippy toes of Hattori.
Oh my God. Yeah. So sick. And I mean, Stingray on the spear, this has been his damage dealer of choice. It's how he racks up that percent.
Nair, yep. Stingray's a Nair master right now. You see it again, but this time it doesn't come for that dodge up and away.
Up and away, getting out of that like turnaround Nair setup that Stingray's been using to cover the dodges in.
Let's see what else Stingray has here. I mean, granted, isn't too... Oh my gosh, what a read. He can go for more here. Oh, he goes for a Nair. I thought he was going to go for another D-Light there. He definitely had the opportunity. He picked a faster frame data. But man, Blaze is struggling. He can't get out this corner.
Yeah, Stingray's playing super patient around the end lights, like dancing around them and getting so much damage.
Oh, I like that. He tries to go for the down air into a setup.
Oh, wait, I feel like there could have been D-Light recovery there from Stingray. Oh, cross up
that weapon throw was terrible. He's going to pick up the spear. And now you can threaten Endlight from off stage. Ground pound's gonna force you off stage. Force him to go low. And now you just wait. You can Endlight him if you want to put him back off stage. D-Light is gonna get the game, and Stingray wins that 3-1 over Blaze in a pretty convincing fashion, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I mean the way to play those win conditions at the end was just like documented perfectly by Stingray, making sure that Blaze was not able to get those weapons back, playing really safe with the sword, finding that D-Light Sarah at the end.